everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spiritual Superpowers. This is Dawn and I'm Caron. And we have one of our favorite guests with us today, Marilyn Penny.
Hello.
And today we're going to talk about the fact that Marilyn did a relationship reading between my mother and myself. In a previous episode, we talked about Dawn doing a relationship reading with her mother who has passed away. My mother is still around. She's 87 years young. And I thought it would be interesting to do a relationship reading because there are some issues in our relationship that I couldn't really understand where those issues came from. And the relationship reading really helped me understand a lot of these things. Yeah, so let's get into it. The kind of coolest thing that we talked about was that my mother and I had had a former life as business partners. And why don't we just roll the video where we talk about that, and then we'll talk about it more afterwards.
Great.
So here we go.
In the next lifetime, you were business partners. And you were in the law business. You were in criminal law. So, and I don't always dig in too deep on what kind of business and that, but it does all play out in the other things that I found. So you were both male when you were in that business together. So there's all male energy in these lifetimes. Which
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. And she was a year older than you, and you were quite young. You were only 22, and she was 23 when you started this business together. So that was cool. So just the two lifetimes. So what's showing up is that there is justified karma between the two of you. So there's a justified and unjustified karma. So unjustified karma means it's played out. One of the souls is released it, the other one's kind of hanging on to it. Justified karma means you're both kind of playing it out, but you can choose whether you continue to make negative choices because of each other or not. Right? So it's sort of, you have that element of karma between you. You will have a tendency at times to make a poor choice for yourself because of each other. So I don't know if that makes sense to you sometimes. And sometimes that needs a little processing to figure out where that plays out. But where it originated was in that business partner lifetime. And it comes out, the aspect of it is be careful what you wish for. So we take that and we say, so I created a story around that. 13 lifetimes ago is when you had this lifetime that you were business partners. You'd been in business 10 years and you were just doing okay. It wasn't great, but along came an opportunity to work with a prominent citizen who had been accused of rape. And you could defend him because you're criminal lawyers, right? So you had this opportunity. This was going to catapult your career. You were going to make a lot of money. And, it was something that was, within your grasp. It was so exciting. But you argued over it because you kind of knew that he was at fault. And even though you were a lawyer and that was your job to get people off, you knew in this case it wasn't right. And, but your mother was like, no, we need this. We can get him off. We can do this. So, ultimately you gave in and you defended this guy and you got him off. But it set off a chain reaction of events because he did reoffend and he couldn't be retried. And ultimately you took the blow back from all the other families that were impacted by the actions of this person. And then your business just crumbled. And your partnership blew up and you just went and worked for other people. And that was that.
Wow.
That interesting.
So just to recap, my mother and I were business partners in a former life where we were in a law firm together. And you saw the details. It didn't go well, right? So it's interesting because there was a while back, when I was 18, I did my real estate license, or I got my real estate license because my mom is a real estate agent. She still is, actually, at 87 years old. still a practicing real estate agent, and she wanted me to get my license and then join her in the business and be her assistant. And she was very successful at that time, and I could have made a lot of money doing it.
Right.
But there was something that really, held me back, and I definitely didn't want to do this, and I really wasn't sure why. But I did get my license so I could kind of help her on the side during the summers, a little bit like that, but I never really fully got into it. I just knew that it wouldn't be a good thing for us. And so it was kind of cool, because if I think back to that former life, and you had no idea, of this intended business partnership with my mom.
And you kind of forgotten about it, really, until we brought it up and revisited.
Yeah, and then what happened is, down the road in my 20s, I was laid off of work, and so wasn't working, and I was married at this time. And then, so the idea came up again, where I got a lot of pressure from my mom to join her in the business, and from my husband as well. And again, could have made a lot of money. And I actually said, okay, I'm going to give it a go. And then for 2 days, I was really depressed. And I thought, oh, that's something in me telling me this is the wrong decision. So I changed my mind. And, and I know it would have made my mom's life easier to have me as her assistant versus trying to find someone else.
And we don't know, if you relived that past life, then maybe it would have been worse off for her, right? Because it didn't go well.
Right.
It didn't go well.
So you were actually protecting her as well by not doing the business.
Yeah, but I do really feel that it explains a lot, because I couldn't really understand at the time what was holding me back so much, right? And now it all makes sense, right? So anyway, but then the other lessons that I'm learning from my mom, it's interesting. There's a lot of parallels between my relationship with my mom and myself, and then your mom and yourself, and our relationship
and our
too.
journeys. Yeah.
So won't we explain that a little bit?
Well, the fact that your mothers have the same birthday is very cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I think we uncovered that there is appreciation. Dawn is learning appreciation from both you and her mother. There's that support, and then assertiveness. She is supporting. I think it's your mother and Dawn are supporting you with assertiveness. So it was like a little mind blowing to find all these synergies going on between all of you. It's another affirmation as to why you came together. It's another more understanding as to why you are connected in this lifetime.
Well, there's also a soul purpose with myself when it comes to communication.
Yes.
Right? With your mother is communications. I think my mother is communication, one of the...
Yes, one of her energies is communication, which makes sense.
Isn't that really interesting?
Yes.
Yeah, so there's so many parallels and just so many kind of interwoven elements.
But from a soul journey perspective, it almost seems more simple or more strategic. I think it would be more confusing if you were here to support me in learning compassion, but then you were here to support your mom in learning patience, or like that type of thing. Yeah. You came here, and it seemed like with your mom and with me, you're here to support us to learn gratitude and appreciation.
Yeah.
And it's two birds with one stone.
Yes.
And
so it actually does make sense.
It does make sense.
And
that all of us would have the same, because we're all in the same.
Supporting people in assertiveness.
Right.
So that's very cool.
Yeah.
So you will draw people.
It keeps me having to remember, okay, what lesson am I supposed to teach you? It's just assertiveness around the board.
Well, then you will attract people into your life that you will support. So that will probably come up in other relationships that you have. Yeah. Exactly.
So that actually makes things easier.
That's kind of cool.
And for me, it also reaffirms that there's so much going on behind the scenes, because, I mean, it's just so cool. Once you really delve into these things, there's so many synchronicities, right? And probably beyond what we will ever discover.
Mm-hmm.
And I think being able to release some of these blocks will really help. Those issues, happen with a lot of people and their parents. So
and siblings and spouses and business partners and all kinds of relationships that have that.
So the ability to do this, to release some of that energy, I'm just so excited to be able to do that. Right?
I love doing them. I just love it because it's so fun.
Yeah.
And I do relationship readings with both people because your mom's, Dawn, your mom is in spirit and your mom is not, it just wasn't something that we would do to be together, but that's so nice. You can give me permission and we can work together with you. And we talked earlier about, doing it in a marriage. If one person, like when you go to therapy, one person can go and work on a relationship on their own, so they can actually come to me and give me energetic permission, and we can just work with the one person to help alleviate the relationship as a whole, which is cool.
Yeah, that is so much better, I think, to do it that way, because you're getting in behind the scenes, you're getting a real good understanding, and you're able to help with the blockages, and then the homework carries that through, right?
Yes, that affirms all the clearing that we've done. And sometimes you'll notice little tweaks and shifts in your relationship, and that's mostly because you've worked on it and released it, and then you're seeing that other person in a bit of a different light.
That's
You're
right.
understanding
That energetic shift.
Oh, and I'm so excited to hear how things shift.
Yes.
In your relationship with
Yes.
your mom, and
Not only will it create an energetic shift in the relationship as the work is being done, the blocks are being unblocked and the homework is being done, but just in that moment, having someone explain to you this other person just gives you so much more understanding, compassion, appreciation, and just help you going forward right after the reading, seeing them in a different way. So if something does happen, you can always understand, oh, that's why.
Yeah, it's that awareness. You
Mhm.
just sort of keep your eyes open to what you're seeing in the shifts.
Yeah. The relationship is definitely not the same after you have a reading with you, no matter what relationship. We see it differently, and so there's that shift just in this plane on top of what's happening up there.
Yes. So thank you so much, Marilyn.
Thank you.
It was just wonderful, and it blew me away about that business partnership.
I know.
It blew me
I was like,
away.
I don't know if this is making any sense, but I'm writing
It
it
so
down
did.
and I'm
It's-
going to tell
It
her.
so did.
Good.
Again, if someone wants to get a relationship reading, how do they get in touch with you?
So lifeguidecoaching.ca is my website, and mvplifeguide@gmail.com is my email. So on Instagram, you can find me, or you can ask Dawn and Caron, they'll find me.
All right, so if you like this video, make sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss another episode. So that is it for today. Hope you enjoyed it, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Great. Bye.